And we're back!
And we're back!
To the Curious Factory.
To the Curious Factory.
So I've mentioned before... Would you knock that off?
Would you knock that out?
Would you cut that out? Is that I mentioned earlier that I consider this to be the hardest passage in the game. And I don't know, I swear that there just aren't enough hearts in this passage. I don't know why that...
I think it's just because there's more things that can cause damage.
Yeah. Like these things. There's spikes all over them. You can't, really avoid it.
Spikes everywhere.
And then, they're... Whoa.
Easy there.
The song in this level is probably the most atmospheric in the game.
Yeah, this song is awesome.
You mean it?
Yeah, I think so. Well, I can barely hear it. But from what I remember, I feel like I remember it being awesome.
And that's the same thing, right, Michael?
Well, I don't know. Maybe if I heard it, I could tell, but I can't because of reverb. Yeah. It's all there.
Because we here at Game Mavericks are dedicated to professionalism. Let's see.
Can't you just throw?
Unless if you're Alonzo or Ethan. In that case, you are not dedicated to professionalism.
Well, that was a total joke. It's not like we are either. Well, can't you just throw a sock over the microphone or something?
Oh yeah, you know about that?
Yeah, because that's what you always do with your headset. Right?
Yeah, well, once I started using the snowball, that's not really a thing anymore.
It's not a thing with all.
Yeah, if I can give Alonzo and Ethan credit for one thing, I mean, getting a snowball was a really good idea. It has made recording for reviews, for playthroughs, or anything just that much easier. So, kudos to you guys.
Kudos.
And I doubt either of them are watching this right now.
God, you're the most. Only through this playthrough have I learned
no,
how
I'm
just
saying that Ethan and Alonzo probably aren't watching this. That's all I said. Because they're probably busy with something. And because they aren't in it, they don't care. That's what I'm saying.
So what you're saying is it was even more passive-aggressive than I thought it was. Because that's what it sounded like. Because not only did you say it again, slower and more, particular, you also went on to,
What's really annoying about these things right here are not in easy mode. And when I first saw them, when I was doing my practice playthrough, I'm like, what the hell are those things? I've never seen those in this game before. I'm just so used to playing this on easy mode, I guess. I mean, I've probably played it on hard. I probably played it in hard mode maybe one time a long time ago. But...
Filthy casual.
Shut up.
Those people are the most annoying people ever.
Yeah. Because apparently hardcore gamers, of which the definition of which changes depending on what console you play. Yeah. I mean, I consider Call of Duty people casual gamers because they only play Call of Duty and they don't play anything else.
Yeah.
And it's easy to get into that because it attracts a large group of people.
I think the people who say that kind of stuff the most are probably the Dark Souls type crowd. Do you know much about Dark Souls?
I know that it's needlessly hard.
Well, I don't know about needlessly. I mean, that's
apparently that makes it good.
And it's an intro. I'm not sure that makes it good, but because it's also good. I think it's...
From what I've seen of it, it doesn't look like a very... It looks to me like it...
It has more merit to it than just being hard.
Probably, because it looks decent, but it looks to me like... I don't know, I've never played it, so I can't really say.
A lot of...
What little I have seen, it just looks like... It sounds to me like it's Return of NES bullshit difficulty, and because of that, that makes it good, I guess.
It's more of a design choice and an interesting one, because it's not a tough as nails platformer, how we have a million of those nowadays.
Yeah.
But it is actually a challenge, and most people would argue a legit challenge and not just, hey, we're gonna throw unnecessary...
I prefer a game be too easy and be fun than it be too hard.
Well, yeah, fun. You can understand that that's a subjective preference, though.
Yes.
Correct? And a lot of people like Dark Souls and think that it's a fair sort of hard. So
I mean,
I'm fine with that.
I feel like people nowadays, especially, are just So, like, if it's not too hard, then it's not a good game. Like when Epic Yarn came out, it's just like, you can't die in this game. So
well, I will say that I think that game is boring. I think from an artistic standpoint, it's really cool and I can appreciate it, but it is kind of boring. Let's be honest. There's not a whole lot of. I can understand why people like it, but not for me either. But that's also a subjective preference, right?
Yes, to an extent.
But that's what I was about to say, is that the people what actually annoys me about Dark Souls is the community. The community are kind of assholes. I'm sorry. I know, because they get really up in arms, and probably anybody who likes Dark Souls watching this is, yeah,
probably just
not
rushing to the
anymore.
comments section.
Probably not watching anymore, actually, to be honest. But it's kind of a toxic community, because if you don't,
I know their ilk.
Any criticism of that game,
you're just mad because it's hard. Is that sort of thing?
Yeah, you're just a filthy casual type stuff, and I'm like, that's kind of.
Because to me, like I don't think challenge is all that important, unless if it gets in the way of the game. Because what matters more is level design. What matters more is the aesthetics. What matters more is like the actual gameplay, not if it's hard. Like if the gameplay is fun, then who cares if it's hard or easy?
Well,
I mean, like, I think that if a game can be really well designed and
you're really simplifying it. Some games, it depends on what the purpose of the game is. Part of the design of Dark Souls is it's supposed to be hard, and there's nothing.
And I'm not saying that Dark Souls is a bad game because it's hard. I'm just saying that to that particular group of people who is just like, you filthy casuals, why play a game if it's not super hard? And games that aren't super hard are bad.
Yes.
I'm saying that that's a little.
Yes, but
they're discounting an entire section of game design.
Yeah, just don't go too far the other way.
Yeah.
And saying that difficulty doesn't matter at all. When you have something like Dear Esther, which is a whole W simulator, and people are like.
I'm saying that. I think people place too much value on difficulty, especially retro gamers, who are just like, games nowadays are too easy, and the ones I grew up with are too hard, so that makes them better somehow.
That's true.
I mean, like, this game's not super terribly hard, but because the level design is interesting, I don't care.
It's worth playing.
Yes.
It's entertaining and worth playing.
That's what matters, not if the game was super hard.
Yes.
But that being said, I can enjoy games that give me fair, interesting challenge. Like, I love DKC 2.
Yes, that can definitely be a good thing, too.
I mean, like, if DKC 2 was easier, it might be less interesting to play, and I can understand that, but I don't think that DKC 2 was hard for the wrong reasons, and because the level design and everything else is so great, and because it's easy to get lives and stuff that make the game, more comfortable for more casual people, I don't think it matters. I think it adds to the experience instead of taking away from it.
Sorry if I'm making lots of noise. I'm gonna put this down. I don't know. I
had less trouble with this level than I thought I was going to. That's good.
I think the fact that Dark Souls can exist is cool.
Yeah.
And I think the fact that it can be successful also in today's kind of two-dimensional feeling, sort of style, if that makes any sense. Making that sort of same games, which I feel like is beating a dead horse at this point, since everybody says that.
We already had like 3 parts where we talked about that.
Yes, but I think it's cool. However, any toxic communities are like the worst things to me. And another good example is like LOL, League of Legends. Yeah, they're pretty it's very off-putting. I'll say that much.
No derpy. I like graham crackers. Brad Parvis Packers.
It's weird because I've played very, very minimal League of Legends, but I think Donkey is hilarious.
Who is Donkey?
Video game Donkey's the guy who made that video you're referencing. He makes other videos besides LOL, but he's probably more well known for that. For his LOL videos. But
maybe that's how I can get viewership to increase, is just by playing a bunch of Minecraft on this show. Like, we'll get Minecraft and we'll make like an episode like, hey, we're doing this mod, come check it out. And then people will watch the show because it's Minecraft.
I think that's starting to stop. I think part of it is saturation.
Yeah.
There's too much.
So many
Minecraft.
people are making fucking Minecraft videos.
And B, people are starting to come around to it. They've sort of moved on to like Rust. Do you know what Rust is?
That sounds familiar.
It's like, alright, it's the survival that's not actually hard survival unless there's PvP. Like, okay. Like, alright, it's you gather materials and you make shit, right, to survive. Yeah. It's like one of those. But it's not like blocks, it's like
actual, like they're not trying to make something.
And there are a lot of those. There's like, you got your Rust, you got your DayZ, which is more zombie oriented, but you also have, I think there's a new one coming out about dinosaurs, Stomping Horde or something like that.
Hopefully it's better than that Turok game we played on the channel at one time.
Yeah, I think that's more the big thing right now. I think that's what's moving on. A lot of people are thinking that the next EverQuest, which is like sort of, it's an MMO, but it's more of it's got more Minecraft elements in it. I think a lot of people think that's gonna be the next big thing, but who knows? Who knows?
I mean, like, I'm not one for fads, honestly. You know me.
Yeah, I'm not really either. But I do think it's interesting, like, how stuff
I mean, like, I
comes up and then
I don't
drops
think
off
Minecraft is terrible either. It looks...
Well,
I can understand why it was successful.
Let me just throw this out there. I've actually played a decent amount of Minecraft, but not to the extent of, most people.
All the elementary school kids who think it's really awesome.
Come to my server! But I
mean, like, I would have loved something like
Let me
Minecraft
just point out,
when I was
regular Minecraft, terrible survival game. Like, it's not good. A lot of people are like, oh, it's so intense. It's like, okay, listen, I've been playing for 5 minutes and I have a shelter and 40 steaks. Like, okay. Whereas, I think my favorite survival game is definitely Don't Starve, which is a difficult game. I feel like it has like a pretty high learning curve, because it's like there's lots to do in it, and you only learn by making mistakes, and it's permadeath. So
it's one of those games.
Yeah, but if you have the time, I think that game is fucking amazing. I love Don't Starve. I love Don't Starve. It's a great game. But anyway, as a survival game, Minecraft I feel like is pretty weak. And anybody,
I mean, like, let's be honest. The reason why it's popular is because of the modding community.
Yes, that's exactly
all the
what I was getting to.
customization you can get.
That has nothing to do with why it's popular. Why it's popular is, well, it's, you got a game completely based off of building, and I'm sure.
Which is why I would have loved it, because I loved my Legos and whatnot back when I was a kid.
Exactly. It's it's Legos, and there's stuff to do, and not only that, it has modding support, which extends pretty much any game's lifetime, really. When people are into it, like, that's why anybody could even argue for a second that Goat Simulator can last more than 7 days, a week. That and YouTubers, because let's be honest, that game is made for YouTube, nothing more.
Oh, okay. Wario's face, though. He's coming. No, and apparently it doesn't count after I transform back.
Somebody take that out of context. He's coming. Maturity. Pass it on. The more you know. I always remember disliking this level.
No, I really like the music here, though.
Yeah.
It sounds like the sort of thing that Undisclosed Person would really like. Because it's like really gritty and kind of has a Genesis sort of angle to it.
It does kind of. I know that the new Mario Kart, which I haven't played, but I've heard is more Mario Kart. But I've heard that Bowser's Castle is it has like a metal version or something like that.
Of which theme? The actual Mario Kart theme, or like
the Bowser's Castle? I think from the Wii. It's not the 64 one. It might be like the SNES one or something like that. The SNES. Did that used to bug you?
A little.
People call it the SNES.
I mean, not as many people do that.
Yeah. Well, it's just easier to say. Anyway, that's what I really liked about the Game Boy Advance, though. Like, games, I don't know, it doesn't... It has a lot of... It has, you know, some pretty good games like this that are completely original, but that was also, like... There's a lot of, like, remakes and stuff like that are...
Which is a good thing or a bad thing, depending on
for a kid who, like, from a later generation. I feel like that's awesome.
I feel like people really discount that, because, like, it was because of the GBA that I experienced Donkey Kong Country, Super Mario World, and all the other classic Mario games.
I played a shit ton of Final Fantasy 1.
Yeah, I mean, like, remakes aside, it was, for my generation, it was great, and I feel like the retro community, of which is the only community who really gives a crap about old games anymore.
To the point of, like, you know, being vocal about it, at least.
Like, they just sort of totally discount that other generations, you know, like, did not grow up with the SNES and didn't really care. This was what there was.
You'd think that they'd want people to experience the games, unless if it's for, like, unless if the reason they wouldn't want that is because they like feeling superior, which is I know a problem that a lot of PC gamers have.
See, like, what really got me into retro games to begin with, and I'm gonna be utterly honest here, was it was kind of a hipster effect. Like, I felt like because I was doing something that people weren't doing, that made it better.
That is, that's a total, actually, I think, a big problem with the retro community. The gaming community, because everybody's got it to some degree. Like we were talking about Dark Souls, that's the same thing. It feels a lot like a superiority thing. Like, you casuals, I'm so much better than you because I can handle this. And it's like, or maybe that's just your preference. And the game, it has nothing to do with the game, but it has everything to do with
like, then I met Ethan, and I met more people my age who actually liked retro stuff, and then I realized just how hipsterish it was, honestly. I'm trying to remember where the hell I'm supposed to go. It's probably up here.
Aren't you supposed
to... Oh, wait, no, I'm supposed to slam through the... Okay,
Slam!
Is that a TV show?
No, I think it's like this old song. I don't know.
I don't know. No. Because, like, honestly... I mean...
Go on.
I like retro games a lot. That's why I own all of my retro consoles. But at the same time, there are some things that modern games, I feel, just do better. I feel like the difficulty is more balanced. I feel like overall, like, the game design... I mean, like, I can't really fault like, NES for not knowing the rules of game design because they didn't exist back then. But at the same time, you know, like, when I'm playing a modern game, I don't have to worry about getting sent back to the beginning of the game just because I died too many times. I mean, like, and then I feel like retro gamers are just like, oh, but that's just how it was, so it's perfect.
I think it's all nostalgia boner.
Exactly.
Doesn't make the games any worse, but...
The games are fine, and that's why I still play plenty.
I feel like sometimes judgment is clouded. Not all the times. There are lots of games. It's like, who can argue that Super Metroid is not a fan-fucking-tastic game, you know?
Yeah, there's certainly
as an example, you know?
There's certainly very much a, Metroid Prime 1 community that'll do that, where, like, I don't know, I remember, like, before I even played Metroid Prime, I'd only really played, like, some of the 2D games.
Yeah.
I watched this playthrough by this guy named, Grievous Rocks, and I know that he didn't really care that much for Super Metroid.
Which is weird, because Metroid Prime 1 is kind of like 3D Super Metroid, isn't it?
Yeah, and that's one of the reasons why it's not my favorite 3D game.
Because you feel like it's too derivative?
I mentioned that in my LP, which is on my channel.
Which you should all go watch.
You don't have to.
There'll be an annotation here, and one over the space of, over some boobs, I guess. That'll get people to click. There's also boobs in the LP.
There are boobs,
yes.
So you should watch the videos.
Yes. I mean, yeah, you should definitely...
I don't know, there are probably, like, only 2 people watching at most at this point.
That's fine.
If there are
You know what?
more,
we love you. We love you.
Thanks for actually watching. This makes... You know, playing this, editing this, recording it, all that bullshit worth it.
Well,
you are why we do.
We're
this.
also having fun. So
Yeah.
having conversations.
Yeah. But wow, that was a long one. Jeez.
Yeah. Was that a full 20 minutes?
Yeah.
You might want to cut that down the middle.
Yeah, I might have to. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I mean, like, I might even start splitting them down the middle so that we can have 10-minute parts again.
Yeah.
Because I thought these levels were much shorter than they are. Because they don't feel that long when you're playing on your own, but then when you like sit down and record, it's just like, jeez.
That's
those
how it
two levels
works.
together were like 20 fucking minutes long.
That's how it works.
You know, at any rate, we'll see you guys.
Jesus.
We'll see you guys next time
Bye-bye.
when we head to 40 Below Fridge and the Pinball Zonema.
Zonimus.
Yeah, see you guys then.